Hi, welcome to Team 5's Mairie 2 project presentation. At the junction between Croix and Villeneuve-d'Ascq, La Mairie is a budding neighborhood with a high potential for sustainable development and business attractivity. An industrial zone since the 19th century, it is rooted in productivity and value creation. However, historical and economic hardships have halted its activities, and it is now up to us and you to give it its shine back. A new sustainable way of building and living. This is what summarizes the essence of our project. Our value is sustainability. We want to be ecological, social, and economically viable. Our purpose is building. We want to take concrete action. Our vision is living. Our core target is the inhabitants and the employees of the zone.
Let's first focus on future users. From our observations, future residential and working area will gather a high social and demographic diversity. We identify three dynamics. First, the reduction in the size of the households. Second, the aging of the population. And third, the need for social diversity. La Mairie is located in a highly built area, which leads to high temperature, pollution, and waterproofing of soils. Parks and gardens are more than ever essential to people after this pandemic, keeping in mind that 80% of French people consider having a garden as a priority. For stakeholders, we will be working with real estate stakeholders as well as future users that we really want to include in the project. Companies using future workplace are also included, as well as local administrator and transport that will develop the mobility aspect of the project.
The strengths and opportunities are very obvious. The convenient transportation methods with metro, train, bus, bike. Also, here we have schools surrounding. And away from the big city makes it quiet but still easy to live. The weakness and threats from this project is the pollution problem from the land and river, noisy electrical installation, the project potential cost, and also the uncertainty of future owners.
So now let's talk about the land, an industrial wasteland with history and great potential. Indeed, the land is vast and is divided into three parts: the rehabilitated building George of 1.5 hectares, the central part 10 hectares, and the third part currently with the gas stations.
For our project, we will make the entire plan based on sustainability concept. First, solve the pollution problem, develop transport, manage present assets. Then construct a new community with the heart of caring people and nature.
For the George building, we decided to rehabilitate the building, keeping the structure typical of the north of France and making it, at the same time, more sustainable thanks to rainwater containers on the roof, for example, and make it a multi-use area. Indeed, we want to create a dynamic space for the inhabitants of the Lille metropolis. On the ground floor, there will be a shopping arcade and a space dedicated to art. Finally, upstairs, we will find an office spaces with business incubator and co-working space, a quiet space with library, for example, and an indoor sports area.
Considering we're building a community, having an appealing place to live, it's a very important factor, which is why we want to make sure that every single one of the housing projects has energy reduction through materials, energy saving sources, waste management, so there's always separation of the garbage and well-being for all. Considering we spend so much time at work, we thought it would be imperative that we create an environment where people can work and spend their time in a different setting than at home. So we wanted to create a working space where you could have your desk, that there are small shops in case you wanted some coffee, and also have some open spaces in order to make sure you get some fresh air and you could start fresh with new ideas after the small break. Everyday population is getting older, so we thought it was very important to create an area where this older generation can feel comfortable with. And it's not only having a nursing staff, of course, that is included, that should also be included, but it's having a place where older people can just hang out with each other and have some fun. Of course, having people with um, more health risk, it's important to have a very good medical staff on standby.
In order to enhance the residents' well-being, as well as to create link between them. Sport facilities will be at the heart of our La Mairie 2 project. Both outdoor and indoor practices will be available to every one of them in order to enjoy their free time as much as possible. A wide variety of activities will be gathered in a unique place. Climbing, basketball, tennis, skateboarding, fitness, table tennis, and even more will be available to everyone in a unique site to take care of your health and your well-being. Residents will be privileged enough to enjoy the rich biodiversity on site thanks to the 3 hectares park at the heart of La Mairie 2. With a farm, child games, a dogs park, and outdoor sport facilities, you will benefit from a rich piece of nature right at your doorstep.
With a growing environmental concern, there is a trend toward a more walkable lifestyle, and since La Mairie 2 is such a wide space, it made sense to increase walkability as well as connectivity with the rest of the mall by combining several means of transportation such as bike and bus network. Following the main functions we allocated to our spaces, our main cost centers would be building, green spaces, community facilities, decontamination, and mobility. On the other hand, our main revenue centers would be housing and offices. We would only be bankable after 11 years, but creating such a space means having a vision for the future, creating a small village within the city that will hopefully become a crucial place for all generations, all social classes, and for those passionate about culture, nature, and sports. Hi, welcome to Team 5's Mairie 2 project presentation. At the junction